What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. It is July 14th, or that's when this video is coming out. But this video I am actually filming on July 13th, the day before this video comes out. And the reason why I'm doing that is because it's right after the game, so everything is just fresh in my mind of what happened. Because usually my recaps actually really suck because I'll forget a lot of things and all that. So I want to give you guys my true, real reaction, and not only that, but also have it all fresh in my brain so I don't have to go ahead and startle and try and think for like 5 seconds or stuff and try and come up with things just so I can tell you the recap and remember it. So with that being said, let's get into it. So with the recap, we had Sam Lawn against Zach Gallen. So Sam Lawn, he usually pitches 3-4 innings, and it's because the Giants will be having a bullpen game, and that was the case in this. He pitched 3 innings, allowing 2 runs, or 3 runs. Wow, I already startled, but he still gave up 3 runs. And what ended up happening is that in the first inning, he ended up not allowing any runs, and then in the second inning, he allowed 2 runs with runners at first and third with nobody out. Dalton Varsho, who has been really haunting the Giants in these series and has been really great against the Giants, he ended up having a 2-run triple, scoring both the runners, making a 2-0 game early on, with the Giants already finding themselves in a little bit of a hole. And then in the third inning, Ketel Marte hit a bomb off of Sam Lawn, making it a 3-0 game. So obviously that does really suck, but that it's just what it was. And luckily with Sam Lawn, I know he did not have a good game at all, but I was listening to something on the radio of the post game, and what they were going ahead and saying is that if Sam Lawn had allowed Dalton Varsho, who was at third base with nobody out, if Sam Lawn had actually had him somehow come in, then this game could have been very different because the Giants would find themselves down 3-0 early on. So obviously that was a big thing that Sam Lawn did. But with that being said, there is no offense for a long time until the 7th inning when the Giants ended up coming out to bat. It started off with the line out, which really did suck. But then what ended up happening is that the next batter, Brandon Belt, ended up coming up. The captain, he's been heating up, like I said in the video posted yesterday. It was something that I was talking about, saying that Brandon Belt has been starting to heat up and that he's been starting to have some better games so far. He has been really doing that this week, and he did it again. He ended up having a home run into Triples Alley, making it a 3-1 game in the 7th inning. And then there was another batter that came up. He hit a single. I forget who that batter was. But then Mike Yastrzemski ended up hitting a double. His first double of the 2 doubles he had ended up having. He had a pretty good game. He had 2 doubles and a walk. So he was a big part of these rallies that had started. So then we had runners at second base and third base with only 1 out. And then David Villar ended up hitting a sac fly, making it 3-2, and then Brandon Crawford, who's going to be a big part of this game later on, ended up hitting, or not actually hitting at all, he ended up striking out, leaving a runner at third base, making the Giants still down 3-2. And then in the 8th inning, there was another big thing, big clutch pinch hitting thing, which the Giants were really good at last year, with hitting home runs in pinch hitting situations. Wilmer Flores had ended up coming in as a pinch hitter for, I believe, Jock Peterson, who had a tough break, and it would have been a home run in any other ballpark, or almost any ballpark, but it was a fly out instead, and he was 0 for 2 with the walk. But what ended up happening is that he ended up getting subbed out for Wilmer Flores, who hit a absolute bomb. I saw him with it on. It's a lock. It was in 30 out of 30 ballparks would have had this and not been able to hold this ball in, and it would be a home run in all MLB ballparks. So that really felt good, obviously, for Wilmer Flores, who has been heating up in those big situations lately, and that's what he's good at. But that makes it a 3-3 game going into the 9th inning, Camilo Doval got 2 strikeouts in a row, looking really good, looking like his old self, and looking like what he should look like, and half the time does look like. But then he gave up a double, and then ended up giving up a ground out. That was a very big ground out because he had a wild pitch making that person from second base go to third base with still 2 outs. So if the Giants were not able to get that tough ground ball and get out of that jam, then the third base runner would end up getting home. But it did not happen. Camilo Doval did his job, and it was 3-3 going into the 9th inning. And then that's when everything good ended up happening. It was really good. It was a single by, I know I'm going to mess this up again. Belt, and then Belt, who had a 2-for-4 night, so he's looking like himself a little bit better. He ended up going to third base on a double by Mike Yastrzemski. Mike Yastrzemski totally thought that he had just won the game, but, I mean, it was 1 out, and Estrada, I never actually saw how Estrada ended up getting out, but I know that he ended up getting out. It might have been a strikeout or a fly out, something like that, but there was still the runner at first base, but then made it runners at second and third with 1 out, and then David Villar coming up against Mark Melancon, who was pitching this whole entire 9th inning. He was really good for the Padres last season, really struggling this season for the Diamondbacks. And if you can remember, he was a big pitcher and a part of the Giants for a while. So he ended up going ahead and walking David Villar and then going to Brandon Crawford, who I think was the smart decision at the time, because Brandon Crawford was 0-for-3 in this game and 0-for-8 lifetime against Mark Melancon, and he picked the right time to go ahead and get his first hit of the game, and against Mark Melancon. He ended up having a walk-off single that was just first pitch. He saw the cutter, and it was pretty much right down the middle, and he ended up blasting it into right field, making it a 4-3 game. And the Giants ended up walking it off. Brandon Crawford did a great job of doing that. And Crawford, he was coming in with a .219 batting average in that at-bat. So obviously not looking good at all. But he ended up going ahead and doing the right thing there and ended up having that walk-off RBI. And that's got to feel really good for him. So both Brandons had a really good game. And then Wilmer Flores had that good game. All in all, I'm going to give my player of the game I really could give it to Brandon Crawford, and I really do want to give it to him because of, obviously, it was his first time actually going ahead and getting this hit against Mark Melancon, because he came up into this opportunity on the Friday game and ended up grounding into that double play with the bases loaded, and that obviously did not go over well, and the Giants weren't able to come back from that. But the Giants were able to come back from it. In this game, Brandon Crawford redeemed himself with bases loaded. All he had to do was ground in a double play, and he did not do that, luckily. And so I really do want to give him the play of the game, but I'm going to end up giving it to Wilmer Flores because pinch hitting opportunity, he was already down in the hole by 2 strikes and ended up blasting that ball. So it was a big thing that Wilmer Flores had done it, and without him, most likely the Giants would have not gone ahead and won this game. He was a big confident booster and got the Giants' motivation up. So with that being said, I thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please remember to like and subscribe. Go Giants, and I will see you guys tomorrow.